Hello, and welcome to the Yoga for Absolute Beginners video series from Rob Ciano Yoga. My name is Rob Ciano, and I created this series of videos for anyone who's interested in yoga but doesn't know where to start. Over the course of these videos, we're going to start off learning some postures, starting small and easy, and then working our way to some more complicated poses. From there, we'll take these postures, or asanas, and link them together to create a sequence that you can practice on your own. In today's video, we're going to start off with a few very simple postures. We're going to do Savasana, or corpse pose, Balasana, or child's pose, Kumbhakasana, or plank pose, and Tadasana, or mountain pose. Don't feel pressured to learn the Sanskrit versions of these poses. They're great to know, but less important than learning the posture safely and correctly. Let's get started. We're going to start off with Savasana, or corpse pose. Very simple posture. You may actually recognize it from every night when you go to sleep. You basically stretch yourself out onto your mat and let your whole body relax into the ground. Let the feet splay out to the sides, let your hands splay out. I find it very comfortable to tuck my shoulder blades underneath my body. Sometimes settling in, I'll just move my head back and forth. This is a pose where you can connect with your body, with your practice. Oftentimes, Savasana or corpse pose is done at the end of a class. Can certainly be done at the beginning of class or in the middle. It's a great resting posture and very simple, as you know. You really just let yourself release into the mat, into the ground, and that is Savasana or corpse pose. The next pose we're going to go over is Balasana, or child's pose. Very easy to remember the name of this posture. What does a child play with? A ball. So for child's pose, two different versions I'm going to go over. Well, a few different versions. I start off with my knees together and my feet together. I sit back on my heels, and then I just take my forehead down onto the mat, okay? You can be here, you can sort of roll your forehead around on the mat, connect your third eye to the mat. Here, my hands are out behind me. You can also stretch your arms forward and lengthen the back in this posture and bring your forehead to the mat. Or you can interlace your fingers behind your back and again, rest your head on the mat. So that's one version of child's pose. My preferred version of child's pose, or the one that I do most often at least, is a wide-legged child's pose. So my feet stay together behind me, and I'm still resting on my heels, but my knees are the width of the mat. And this is a nice way to start to open up the hips as you begin your practice. I like to open up a practice with this posture, and you just walk your hands forward, take them down to the mat, take your forehead down to the mat, and really stretch out the back here. Let your hips sink down. Really, that's what you're feeling in this posture, at least for me. I'm feeling my forehead pressing into the mat. I'm feeling my hips opening as I'm pressing my hips down. And also, sometimes in this posture, I like to tent my fingertips and walk my hands out to one side and really feel a stretch move from my hip all the way up my side body, all the way to my pinky finger. So you can do a little bit of a side body stretch in the wide-legged child's pose as well. Take your right cheek to the mat when you're moving over to the left. Tent your fingertips. Walk yourself out to the other side. Take the left cheek down to the mat. So that's Balasana, child's pose, two versions of that pose. So now we're going to go into Kumbhakasana, which is a plank pose. It looks like the beginning of a push-up. So basically you just take yourself flat, make a nice straight line from your heels to your hips to your shoulders. Press into the mat with both hands. I'm really pressing into the mat with my pointer fingers and my thumbs, and that's going to protect the wrists in this posture, especially as you're drawing the hands together here. In Kumbhakasana and plank pose, you draw the hands toward one another, and you can feel that muscular engagement come into the arms, come into the chest a little bit, pressing into those pointers and those thumbs, and reaching back with my heels as well to get a nice stretch in the back of the legs. Now, this version of the pose is a little difficult for some people, so you can also do plank pose on your knees. It's the same thing. You're drawing the hands together and really feeling that muscular engagement. Yoga is all about the connection of mind to body. So when you're in these postures, see where you can feel the posture in your body. See where you can feel your your feet or hands connecting to the ground. See where you can feel the muscular engagement in your arms, in your legs, in your core, wherever you're engaging your body in these postures. Really focus in on that, because that actually is the yoga, that connection of mind and body. So coming back here to Tadasana, plank pose, I'm feeling my hands press in. I'm feeling my feet reach back. My navel is drawing up toward my spine, core is engaged. Or, once again, same thing here. Core engaged, hands pressing in, hands drawing together, and really feeling that engagement in this posture. And that is Kumbhakasana, plank pose. Next, let's move on to Tadasana, mountain pose. So, Tadasana, mountain pose is one of my favorite postures. It seems very simple on the surface. The basic shape of the posture is such. You're basically just standing straight and tall in your body. But the great thing that I like about mountain pose is that you can really get the essence of that yoga mind-body connection in this posture if you choose to. So the way that I do mountain pose is I start by placing my feet firmly on the ground, and I do this by pressing into the big toe mounds of my feet, into the inner heel, into the outer edge of my toes, and into the outer heel. My toes are spread nice and wide here, and I'm really pressing most especially into the big toe mound. I'm drawing my feet together, and again, you can feel that muscular engagement come up into the legs here. I tuck my tailbone under, firm up my core, roll the shoulders up, roll them back. This is a mountain pose. Sometimes in this posture, I like to make muscles with my arms, keep that muscular engagement as I open them back up, feeling my whole body, feeling all that muscular engagement everywhere in this posture, and feeling nice and strong and tall like a mountain. Tadasana. Take a few breaths here. Great. So that's lesson 1 for yoga for the absolute beginner from Rob Ciano Yoga. My name is Rob Ciano. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste.